Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Week 24, Day 5. It is a red day, and if anyone's interested, we do still have a spot open, by the way. We've had one all week. Of course, they ended up leaving at the beginning of the week, so we're quite a bit down on score. Yep, we're still all the way in the last. We have two people who haven't done their scores, or their points, but it does look like, even if they do, due to the other person we're down at the moment, we might be going back to bracket number 2, but this may not be too bad of a thing. Bracket number 2 is a lot easier than bracket number 1, and that'll be interesting to see how that pans out on next week, because next week is the first week when unique teams start to take place, because currently unique defense does not actually matter, but starting on next Monday, after the reset day, it will indeed start to matter, so we'll see how that really pans out. Once we get that change. But anyways, it is a red day today, so let's go and get to that. Should have a team already set up. Actually, I believe this is my red team. So there we go. Double check that it is indeed red. I hate how they have that right there. They're going to be switching that in the future, by the way, and making the background of it red, so it's, or you know, of the color of the day, so it's easier to see. With it being the text that color, it's really hard to actually determine. But I have to keep looking like at the schedule, which is the whole point of why they even had it here in the first place. But yeah, they will be fixing that, by the way, that little visual weirdness that that occurs with it. Anyways, let's get into these battles. We're up against the soldier right here. Wait, can we actually fight two different ways? That's weird. There's two ways to go to the exact same screen. I guess that works. Anyways, let's get into it. Let me move this so I can see chat. Hello everyone! Hello Henry. Oh, let me lower that volume. Wow, I have it like all the way turned up. I don't know if you guys can actually hear it louder when I do that, but I had the volume turned up earlier. There we go. Hello Henny, hello JZG, hello Bridget, hello Amanda, and hello Gilax and Nautical. Welcome all, welcome, welcome. So they will be, of course, as I just mentioned, I was kind of briefly mentioning that, but they will be having a if I can talk. They dying over here. They will be having a update where they change up the visuals some. It's mainly just going to be for readability. They're not going to like completely overhaul what they've already done, I don't believe. Some things, who knows, but they're definitely going to be updating like this background and stuff like that. That has already been confirmed. So right there, Valkyrie. Good chance they'll land. I'm just gonna have to let it happen. As long as he doesn't do brown, we're kind of fine, and he doesn't do brown, so should be good to go into this then. We can just move that up, get some of our mana, go for the double brown. As long as this doesn't miss, good. And now we just win. We'll start with an Element Grim, even though it's slightly less manas. You know what? Actually, let me move that first. And now we go for the Element Grim. So we'll do that, and we do indeed get to burn. Double the purple should definitely land, doubling the 17. Very easy to get that off. And Infernus or Ellie? We'll still go Ellie. The purples are pretty scarce around the board, but or scattered, I mean. But still works out. Let's take that one purple. What does that leave us at? 9. We'll go for the fire there. And now we just have one last little poke to do, and down it goes. So pretty clean wipe right there. Now to just do that for 4 more battles, and we'll be good to go on this Guild War day. Your red team was destroyed today. Next, I always feel like red day is one of the hardest days to do. Last time I got pulled, which was ages ago, the first time I ever got pulled, I should say, it was only ever pulled once. But people did say that red day was the hardest day, and at the time I did too. But then this team came into existence, and it was like, oh yeah, never mind. But I know, without some of the core troops, I feel like you need either Infernus, Crimson Bat, Draculus, or Element Grim. You basically need one of those 4 to be able to do decent on a red day generally. Just because of how there aren't enough red options, I wouldn't say. That, or you need a Sir Gawain and try building a budget team around a true damage Sir Gawain team. That's the other option too. Problem with true damage though is you lose some score, and it's really inconsistent, particularly if you're using like a Merilith variant, which does a lot of damage and a lot of mana generation. It's just if it misses, you just pretty much instantly lose. Alright, so I'm just reducing his stats right now, trying to get some of our mana up wherever we can, and then get an Element Grim down and go from there. And that does indeed land. Wasn't even expecting it to, but that's perfectly fine. And now we can just wipe it out from here. No, you missed. I got slightly bad, especially if it starts going crazy. It did a little bit. We're not frozen on blue, so we can actually go for that without any consequence. And get all of that, and then just Infernus into double brown. Actually, we can double brown now. We're not even frozen on it. We're frozen on purple, but we're not frozen on brown. So we can get away with that. Get rid of all the extra spares on the board. And then just Infernus it and get ready to Elamagrim the following turn. And that will wipe. And there we go. He didn't even get a real cast off for the most part. I think he only got like a Forest Troll or two. Oh, you can see their levels now too in the battles. I didn't even notice that. It says their name, their guild, the level, and what kind of battle it is. If it's casual, ranked, or I guess if it's a map or something else, they'll say that. Elamagrim is reducing attack by 4 again. Is it? I haven't been paying attention. It does say 4. Maybe they accidentally undid the nerf. Yeah, he is supposed to do it 3 attack reduction. Maybe they unnerfed him unintentionally. Yeah, they probably forgot about that. I didn't even notice that. 3 and 4, in all honesty, 3, 4, both seem like the exact same amount of reduction. They would have to reduce it down to 2 for it to really have any impact. Yeah, I feel like they always go down to a 0 attack. There's very few battles I play with Elamagrim where the opposing team does not go down to 0 attack. And generally the teams that those are like attack buffing teams or devours where they happen to get extra attack. But any team that keeps their base stats at the same generally just gets zeroed by the end of an Elamagrim battle. Okay, well, he just got a double Death Mark immediately. What did he even cast? Oh, wait, did he kill Death Knight? Yeah, he had to have killed Death Knight then. Oh, he's going for that strategy and then trying to buff up a gigantic Draculus. Interesting. Haven't seen people run that for a while. Well, we already got 1 cleanse, so that's really good in our favor. Didn't get the extra turn, though. And it's just killing itself now. Double 7. I don't think that's worth it. We'll just move that. Only problem now is we don't have the burn, so if he does randomly die, that is quite concerning. Okay, I'm just going to go for this. Hopefully he'll live 1 more turn so I can get this off. Okay, he does. Ooh, we didn't get the extra turn, though. Come on, cleanse or get an extra turn. One of the two. Doesn't matter which. But one of them needs to happen. There we go, you got the cleanse. That's fine. Ideally, we would have gotten the extra turn, though. The cleanse isn't as helpful. But we'll move that over, and as long as we land this double purple, we win. Got it. We won. The Elamagrim. Get another Elamagrim. Double check board. Infernus. Wow, he has a lot of HP right now. Move that over. Elamagrim. He's still alive over there. We don't have a drop. Oh, yes we do. Never mind. Take that over. My cough helped me. Gave me a second to find a drop. And there it goes. Tacet, who is my favorite troop? Yours is Kraken? Mine still has to be Dragon Soul. Which is really annoying because they took Dragon Soul out of the drop pool this week. It was in the, it was craftable at the beginning of this week. But then when they did the patch, it was like, nope, no Dragon Soul for you. And then we didn't get it. And it was like, no. But yeah, I have no need to really farm up my other account now because, yeah, they kind of got rid of it. So what are we going to do? Well, we'll wait again, and hopefully we'll get Dragon Soul again. But yeah, we had a chance. If only we actually had level 9 Soulforge. Maybe I should just level it up already. I've been hesitant to like go and grind it out, but I really just need to go and get level 10 or level 9 Soulforge on my Let's Play account. The only big issue with it is it takes a really long amount of time on that account. It would take me about 10 more hours of playing on it to actually get to that point, maybe even a little bit more than that, which obviously isn't a small amount of time by any means. Let's see. Well, we'll go and get the purples down. Move that over. Get another Elamagrim. Ellie, Infernus, dead. No extra turn and all that mess, but we'll get our mana generation there. And that'll be enough for cleanup. Yeah, no, Dragon Soul is always my favorite. It will be until it gets nerfed, though I don't think it's ever going to get nerfed. It's in a pretty well-balanced state, other than in early game. In early game, it's the most overpowered thing in the game. But later in the game, it's actually very well-balanced. Okay, we're finally up against the meta. So if we can win against this, we can win against everything. Though we've pretty much won against everything. So now we just have to win against this. Okay. Game plan here. We need one. Need to figure out what we need to rush first, because every single turn he gets to do something is dangerous. Okay, I think I take the red and hope for brown. That is not what I wanted. A bunch of cascades and stuff, but nothing too useful. He's going for Kraken mana first, though, which is fine. Problem is I'm randomly taking like a little bit of everything. Or not randomly, but it's just how it's going down. Purple Surge and the brown double would be perfectly fine, as long as we don't miss the brown double. So we'll move that over, get more attack reduction. We could attack reduce him enough that he can't entangle us anymore, which would be ideal, though he might be dead by then. Okay, good, we did indeed land that. The only problem is we don't really have a follow-up. It would be way too high of a chance to miss if we actually go for it, so I'm not going to bother. We'll just let him do his thing. And of course he lands it. Don't you dare devour. Don't you dare devour. Okay, good. He didn't go for it yet. We are frozen on brown, though. So I can't take it. I'm not frozen on purple, however. Okay. Looking bad so far. Let's see. So far, so bad. Purple to red. I got double brown, but that wouldn't serve me much purpose because we lose our turn instantly. But he can actually utilize it, so you know why I'm going for it. Because we get full mana on the two of them. Okay, end your turn. Don't. Okay, good. We got a chance. Now, we can take every blue off the board, which is kind of nice because we're not frozen on blue since we don't use blue. We are frozen on skull, however. So no point in taking that. Not to mention we're entangled, which makes it even less desirable. We would get a stun, though, if we did it. But it's not worth stunning him for our turn. So we're going to throw Element Grim. We are frozen on purple, but if we can just get a little bit of mana, that's fine. He does get Devour. It was an already weakened troop, though. So he gets slightly less value out of the Devour. But it does look like he's going to win at this point. We can double the purple. That's only going to give us another Element Grim. He gets that off. Okay, we have a chance. We just cleansed. We got everything rolling now. Now, let's just go crazy. He's burning on everything, too. Okay, I think we got it. Now, there's the comeback we need. That's the entire game right now. Until they, like, really fix the meta. It's infinite loop versus infinite loop. And whoever gets it wins. Well, we lost a troop, which loses us a decent amount of points, but we still yield a total of... I hate that it doesn't show you the score automatically on this page anymore. I have no clue why that is. Like, how much did we score? Like, if you just look at these numbers, it's like, okay, what did we score? There's the whole entire guild. There's the entire enemy guild. Here's, like, every single battle showing that we did them in a point value, but where's our score? Like, why isn't there any score on this entire page? You have to go click on this thing, and then it shows you your score and your guild and your opposing. Though I don't even know why these two are here, since it shows you it right there. I really don't understand why that's on its own thing. You could just make that, like, right there. Like, literally right there. Or somewhere. There's plenty of room. Doesn't need to be hidden. Anyways, there we go. Also, did we register for next week? Let me make sure, because it's under a new screen now as well, where all your progress is and everything, as well as the little how to play thingy. This actually does make sense, like this screen. I'm fine with this being its own little screen. This I am not, though. That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyways, that's Guild Wars for today. We still need one person if anyone's interested, if you want to join up in the guild. Otherwise, we'll probably be recruiting that on Sunday or Monday. Hello, Frag Hunter, welcome. And hello, Levelurbs? Something like that. Also, hello, Raymond. You have been playing for a while, and you've met troops with very high stats like yours. You know there are kingdom and troop type bonuses, which increase base stats. Does player level increase troop stats? No. Player level has no effect on troop stats. The only thing that hero level helps with is your mana surge chance, which can be found over here. This is the chance that you get a mana surge when you take a 3-pair. This increases as you get more mastery, and you get more mastery all the way up to level 1000. Going up to level 1000 also gives you a bunch of weapons. I believe by around level 300-ish, you have basically every weapon in the game that you could possibly get from leveling. Leveling also gives a very, very minuscule amount of stats to your hero. These days, it's almost an irrelevant amount of stats, but in places like Arena, it's still somewhat relevant because those stats do apply there. But no, those stats that you gain on your hero only applies to your hero, and it's very minimal to the point that it's not really any difference, nor does it actually give it to any of your troops. It only gives it to your hero itself. But yeah, higher hero level means no difference. A level 300 is about as strong as the level 1000 for the most part. And technically every single person is the exact same level if they have the exact same troops and exact same kingdom leveling and everything. Because, yeah, hero level has no effect on it. Generally, hero level is a good way to gauge how strong someone might be, though. Because obviously anyone over 1,000 generally has every single kingdom at level 10 and likely has many 5-star gold kingdoms. Anyone who's above level 1,100 likely is around near max. And anyone's around 500 easily has every single kingdom at 10. But they are probably only now just starting at like 3-star kingdoms and 5-star kingdoms and stuff like that. So it's kind of a way to gauge, but it's by no means the actual power of the player. And yes, leveling does not give any more stats, to answer the bottom line of your question. Also, we're still throwing all of our gold away, mainly because I need to try to get the crabs. I believe we only need 5 more. I was farming a little bit earlier as well, not too much though. But if I go check it now, we should be only like 4 more crabs. There we are, exactly so. 4 more crabs and we'll have the entire kingdom pretty much maxed out. This is the last thing I really need for the most part, because all of the other ones will easily be able to get out of event keys once Monday hits. This will be the last one that we need to do prior to Monday. So if we go apply filter, we got the rare at Mythic, we got the other rare at Mythic, so those are done. Next objective is the giant crab, because we only need 4 more copies until that becomes Mythic. And then all these are ultra rare or higher, so we can just use event keys to obtain all 4 of them. And the 5th one we'll obtain just from the event week. That one will be ridiculously easy to get since we can get out of glory keys. Not to mention we're going to be opening up so many event keys to try to get these other 4 that we're likely just going to get him without even needing to open up any via glory. So we'll save some glory that way as well. But yeah, that is the goal. Hardest thing is probably going to be either getting 8 more Azuras or 5 more Leviathans. It might even go for 6, depending on how lucky or unlucky we get. I have a feeling I'll need to throw every event key I have, and we'll see what happens after that many. I might still need to open some. But yeah, 1 more day. Actually, technically 2 more days. It's Monday reset is when the chest switches over for the event keys, when we'll actually be able to get all the Merlantis content. Leveling and getting stars on kingdoms increases the stats of all troops. Yeah, that's the main ways. Just getting the standard kingdom bonus. Once you level this up to level 10, I forget what screen you normally do it on. I think it's this screen. You level it up to level 10, and then the other thing you do is your actual kingdom power level, which you can find over here. And this increases based on how many troops you have in the kingdom, how many traits you have in the kingdom, and how many levels you have. And the main thing that makes everyone bigger is the 5 gold stars, which is the +1 kingdom stat, which basically just doubles whatever that does. And eventually, look at that. This isn't coming till probably midway next year or late next year, but +2 kingdom skill bonus. That is going to be interesting how that will affect the meta once that does come around, because that will be pretty hefty. Let's see, how many bonuses are there already? So if every single kingdom was to get a +1, based on the current state of the game, and there'd be even more kingdoms by then, but let's just do it based on what currently exists. There would then be 5 more magic, 5 more attack, 10 more armor, and 10 more HP on basically every single late game player. You'd be able to distinguish extremely late game players from everyone else almost instantly at that point, because that's going to be a very, very large difference. That's a total of a 30 stat difference between a fully maxed out endgame player and someone who has played a lot but is not like super endgame. So that will start to make a differentiation, because right now, basically anyone who has played for several hundred hours compared to someone who has played for thousands of hours, their account's almost like the same, other than the person who played for thousands of hours probably having a way more mythics and stuff. But getting 5 gold stars is easier now than it's ever been. The only kingdom that's particularly hard to get to 5 gold stars right now is literally the kingdom that just came out, because to have it fully maxed, you would have to have on Monday literally all 8 of them fully mythicked and fully traded, which a lot of people aren't bothered going to do. But we are, because we can. And we should have that soon, or at least once Wednesday hits. Did you see Troll Team? If you did, how did it work? Did you use Troll Team? Yes. And yes, it still worked well. What do you mean by that? We can go show it again? I'm not quite sure what you mean. But yeah, we always use Troll Team on the purple day. I mean red day. It feels like purple day because it creates so much purple, and it uses triple purple. But, yeah, trolls worked out fine today. Why, is there something different with them as of currently? Oh, I say that, and we're probably going to get destroyed this battle. There's too much green on the board, and I can't deny him from the turn he's about to do. And there he goes. Don't you dare famine. Don't you dare famine. Don't you dare famine. There he goes with famine. Gosh. Okay. Well, let's rebuild. Process of rebuilding. I don't care for frozen on it. It's a lot of mana. Don't you dare famine again. I will retreat if you famine again. No. Well, that's how that team works. Good job. For Guild Wars, you're always worried about Mab. Oh yeah, Mab is very annoying. I didn't actually encounter many Mabs though. I only encountered a Mab on the final battle, and we still ended up winning. But yes, Mab does destroy this team pretty easily, as you just saw based on what just happened. The easiest way to kind of get by this is just hope you win quicker than how long it takes for a Mab to get started. Almost every team can lose to a Mab though. It's not really exclusive to this. Of course, the more loopy it is, the higher chance it is that it will indeed lose to a Mab. But yeah, just trying to outpace them is generally the easiest way to go about it. He might actually win this too. Mainly due to the fact I'm underestimating how much damage a war actually does with skulls. So I let him completely destroy my first slot, and now he's about to destroy my second slot. I gotta be careful around him. Normally you don't see first slot war, so I keep forgetting. He is basically the highest attack value in the entire game, which does make him very, very solid. The thing about him, though, is he's really flimsy, so if you just take a couple skulls, he'll die almost instantly. Problem is I wasn't taking a couple skulls, so he wasn't dying instantly. Okay, we need a red... No, we need a purple take, because that feeds directly into him. I think we're going to lose, surprisingly, to the Amnesia. I didn't think I'd ever say that in a normal PvP battle. But it does look like we're going to lose to Amnesia, simply because it's going to outpace us with the summon. Especially if that Valkyrie lands. Okay, that Valkyrie semi-land. It is going to get the thing off, but should be fine. There's enough purple on the board that we'll be able to survive. Nope, not if we miss like that, we won't. Okay, that's not looking good. Especially since we can't take the last little bit of our mana. We'll go for that. What is with this team today? We did perfectly good in Guild Wars. And now it's losing to something that's not even that meta right now. Okay, we'll take the skull. I think the main thing that kind of ruined it was the war there. One little skull, and instead of letting it take so many. I'm so used to baiting out the skulls. But can't do that against the war and a few other troops. But particularly war. Alright, I'm going to have to take skull. I don't have a choice there just to get rid of the final damage. And he just gets a skull that will kill us after. Fail. What are you doing, team? You've let us down. Okay. Well, let's go against Lieb. Well, that's a pretty simple team right there. Hello, Axe. Welcome. I know I will be doing dungeons. I know. It just, Maximuse ended up asking about this team. But yeah, you do have to fear the Queen map slightly. But, it really comes down to what the starting board is. It comes down to half luck if you win against a Queen map or not. If you can get a burn on them and somehow make sure you have 0 freezes or only 1 freeze on your team, or, you know, 1 thing getting frozen, you'll be fine. And assuming your Element Grim has its impervious trait, that will help to make sure that you have a 1 in 4 chance at least that her freeze will not land. And it is only a 1 in 4 chance now, because it used to be a higher chance that she would land, but now she can't multi-freeze, which is kind of nice. But it makes her slightly less annoying. Still ridiculously annoying, but just slightly less so. Okay, well, let's take out this team. This is obviously just a bunch of constructs. We do still need to farm a bunch of constructs, though. The reason for this is it is a week where we gain event gems for it. And basically right now, since we're so close to the final reward, every single construct we kill is worth 1 gem. So tomorrow I will be grinding out the last little few of those little guys. And we'll be good to go from there. You just finished downloading this game? Oh yes, it is a lot of fun. Gems of War. They did a pretty big graphical overhaul recently that has gotten a lot of criticism. But other than that, the gameplay and mechanics and everything are pretty solid in this game. What is currently really good in late game is getting a little stale at the moment. But other than that, it's going pretty well. I know early game. This game has a really, really solid early game. Basically everything prior to level 300 is really, really nice. Biggest issue is they don't really have the game too balanced for the late game yet, because almost everything is, at least as this current moment, is basically just infinite loop into infinite loop. It hasn't always been this way, but that's kind of been what everything has shifted to as of recently. Okay, he steals all my mana there. I'm gonna get the purples. Let's see. I don't have any way to answer that Scion. We'll just go take the purple down. And now we just need to get the last little bit of his mana back. Purple Surge into a red would be great. So we got the Purple Surge. And there's only 4 brown after that explosion. Wow. Okay, well at least we can take that. That'll get us going a little bit. We have the burns too. So as long as we can keep that on him for just a little while. Okay. I might just have to throw this and hope it lands. And it gave me mana. Didn't really land though. Okay, he went for the famine. That is unfortunate. I'm just gonna have to go for a skull. He'll go for a skull counter. And he's gonna Scion us regardless of what I do. We might be too far behind the... Yep, we lost our Element Groom too. It's still not complete loss yet. We can just get Infernus up. But it does look like he's gonna be able to Scion us out at this point. Well, I might have to go back to dragons then. If you can't win, go with the standard dragon team. Gonna move that over. I like how we go perfect score in Guild Wars. Then we start using this in PvP against things that aren't even excessively good, yet we just start losing. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this battle. This is obviously a loss already. Also, what on earth is up with that screen? What on earth? What? Is anyone else seeing this in their global chats? I saw this earlier too. That the thing that basically tells you how long a message ago was would like spam like crazy across everything. Hey, does anyone see this when they go to global chat? Who's on right now? That is quite broken. They need to fix that later. There's a lot of visual improvements they're going to be making the next patch, next little mini patch. Okay, let's go back to bring out the dragons, and then we'll go do dungeons for today. Yeah, we've been using the new Leviathan. We'll be getting it to Mythic on Monday when we can actually get it easily. I only have the one for now to basically just show it. Really isn't any point in trying to get it to Mythic before Monday because it just costs so many resources to actually do so. Might as well just be patient. But yeah, it's not too bad. I still find most of the other dragons to be better than it. It's mainly because Submerge is pretty lackluster of a stats effect. It only dodges full AoE. If it worked against Queen Mab and if it worked against Kraken, Kraken's ability, I would say yes, it was worth it. But it doesn't do either of those two things. Oh, it does dodge her though, which is kind of nice. So at least we got that dodge in. Purple extra turn. Yeah, we can. No, we can't. Never mind. I can't do that. Shadow Dragon would would block us there. Let me remove green. Then we need to do something about the blues. Oh, we actually landed an extra turn. Too bad the thing wouldn't let us. And we just agile it again, or not agile, whatever the thing is called. They submerge. And then we could just wave crash kill it, or Pristine X kill it. Either would work. And we'll just get rid of blue since it's highest boost ratio, and then it goes. Is this game cross-platform? Yes. The PC mobile version is cross-platform. The console versions are their own versions, though. So basically, it's PC mobile are on the same version. Then there's 2 separate other versions. There's 3 versions of the game, essentially. There's the PC mobile version, which share the exact same servers. Like anyone in global chat, anyone in my guild, anyone in anywhere where I'm playing right now could be either from the Guild Wars. Oh wow, this is so broken right now with the those visual things. But it works perfectly fine, and it's weird. It works perfectly fine in guild chat, but in global chat, it's like all weird. But yeah, any of these people could be on mobile or on PC. But there's 3 versions. There's the PC mobile. Those are linked, and if you have one account on one, you can link it to the other. There's the PS4 version. This is its own version. It's not cross-platform against anything. And then there is the Xbox One version, which is also its own version, and is not cross-platform to everything. So if you're interested in cross-platform, like playing it on mobile while you're out somewheres, you'd want to play the PC mobile version. So basically just play it on PC while you're at your house, and mobile while you're on the go, or tablet, or whatever other device. Look back at the footage of previous stream. When you had a 2 banners selected, Broken Spires banner was check marked as well. You can see if it's when you first opened the banner screen. So 3 were check marked. Oh, I was wondering about that earlier too. I had 2 of them check marked and I was like, wait, why is this the thing? And I guess it was 3 then. That was really strange. Did you happen to see how it happened? Because I was trying to recreate it and it didn't work. But yeah, I thought it was only 2. I guess we somehow had 3 selected. Pretty sure only 1 was actually selected and it was just a visual glitch. I was just curious how it would be recreated because we did it, but then couldn't redo it. But yeah, hello, H4 Sorrow something. Or Havoc. Havoc Sorrow? I think it's Havoc Sorrow. Welcome. But if anyone has any questions, team builds you want me to do, anything of the such, feel free to leave them in chat. Oh yeah, I need to go to dungeons. I haven't forgot, it's just that keep doing other battles. So that's forgetting then. Okay, well, let's go get the last little bit of mana we need for KrissTigger or Dragon Soul, either would work. There goes the Wisps. Wisps are a lot weaker now that they can't just spam like crazy. They still have a really strong start. It's basically the exact same. But everything after they get their initial burst is a lot weaker because they can't accumulate their mana as easily as they used to the previous patch, which is kind of nice. They're definitely less annoying, and while still maintaining viable, so that was kind of nice that they were able to kind of balance them out pretty decently. They didn't completely kill them out, but they also made it so it's less desirable to actually use them. I personally have just completely stopped using them. Not because they're not good anymore, but just because every single time anything ever gets initially nerfed, I've been like, if only it was back at its normal stats. I just feel so bad using it. It's like, that's the same reason why I don't use Corvash too much. Because Corvash pre-nerf was a lot of fun to mess around with. But then they nerfed him slightly, and it was like, it's not really worth it anymore. Okay, we can remove the purple. Our blue is frozen, though. But we get almost all of our mana back. And now we can just poke it with whatever. Whoa, if it doesn't completely destroy me. Yeah, they really, really need to make Submerge work against more things. I am surprised how few things it actually works against. Like, for example, on this team, there is not a single cast on this opposing team that Submerge works against. What Submerge is supposed to do is it avoids all damage effects targeting the whole team. Well, Queen Mab targets the whole team. Kraken Straight targets the whole team. And his ability, when there's only 2 left, technically targets the whole team. Yet there isn't a single thing out of all 3 of those that it blocks. It doesn't stop the tentacles that hit all enemies. It doesn't stop his ability, nor does it stop Queen Mab's ability, which automatically hits all enemies. If it was to do those 3 things alone, it would be really, really amazing. Even if it just did Kraken's tentacles, it'd be nice. But it doesn't work against traits. It should technically read only against abilities, because it does not do it against traits at all. It also doesn't do it against anything that's a stat reduction or a special effect, like if it's a burn, or if it's a stat reduction, or if it's mana burn, or a poison. It doesn't dodge those things, even if it does hit all enemies, like it says. Is Mana Core worth using on yellow days? Yes. Yes, Mana Core used to be very, very meta in the game. He was very, very popular. Then they kind of nerfed him, and then no one used him. But he was really overpowered before. He had a attack gain, a 7 mana drain, and empowered. At the time, there was also a glitch that could be used with him in combination with the fact that he had empowered plus a stun that would allow you to stun traits before they actually triggered on the enemy team. So, for example, there's a troop called Honor that, when fully traded, it gains 10 to all stats when it activates its trait at the beginning of a battle. And you were actually able to stun it with a Mana Core prior to the battle even beginning, which was kind of funny. It was the only troop that was ever able to do it, and that was one of the reasons he got nerfed. That, and he was just way too powerful. He was used as basically the only impervious in the game, even though there was plenty of other imperviouses. He was just so good compared to everything else. He's still really nice as an impervious option. He's only an ultra rare, so he's very, very, very cheap to actually obtain and trade up. Not the absolute cheapest impervious out there, but as far as how useful he is, it's definitely a great utility to have laying around. And Mana Drain's always nice to have. There is never an instance where you wouldn't want to have a Mana Drain. While you don't need it in literally every team, it is one of the easiest ways to disable troops, since nothing actually has immunity to Mana Drain. So being able to stop mana is pretty important, since if you can entangle while simultaneously preventing mana, like if you could attack reduce them while stopping their mana, you've essentially negated every possible way that they have of killing you. So it's one of the 2 core ways to basically make the enemy team do nothing, is by mana drain spamming. It's why we also tend to lose, like we saw earlier, against things like Famine, Corvash, stuff like that. Because particularly like just Famine in general, it can bring you to the point where it locks you in with so much mana drain that you can't actually come back from it, because it keeps accumulating quicker than you can actually do damage to it or reply with any other kind of attack. So right here, we're just going to go for pure damage, hopefully cascade into extra turn. No, we did not, so we lose our Dragon Soul there. We'll have to rebuild that. Here goes the Mercy. What do we do about this? We're frozen on yellow, we're frozen on purple. Oh, there's almost no purple on the board, so I guess I don't need to worry about that aspect of it as much. I kind of still want to take a yellow just to deny him. There we go. And now he converts out his own yellow, which is kind of nice, because now both the colors that we're frozen on is barely even on the board. So we don't need to worry as much about losing our turn compared to before. That's somewhat helpful of him to us. And then let's get rid of blue since he uses it so much, even though we use some too. More worried about him getting it than us. And now we can basically just Dragon Soul into a Leviathan. Could throw a Shadow Dragon in there too. Wish it could actually land. Doesn't seem like we can really get much off. So I'm going to move that to the back, just so we can get a really weak troop up front to kill if we want to with a Skull. We could also kill it just with Dragon Soul split damage, but then again, he would have killed it with full AoE anyways. But we'll go throw that down. And now we just need one Blast Burst, and that will be enough damage to finish it. If it doesn't kill us first, that would be great. Okay. So we'll take a Skull. And that is definitely a match off the Shadow Dragon. Hello, lowlights, welcome! Your yellow team is good, but no defense against yellow. Yeah, I don't run yellow on my defense, on my invade yellow either. Or I don't run... Did I just say I don't run yellow on my invade yellow? I don't run anti-devour on my invade yellow. I run drain spam instead. Because there's only one troop in the entire game that has devour off of non-ability. So if you just use drain spam, you don't really even need to worry about having a immune to devour. If you have two things that can drain mana, you're probably fine without even having immunity to it. That, or you could go the extra step and go double mana drain, plus having an impervious last slot. If you're up against something like a Kraken, that would completely ensure that they basically do nothing to you, for the most part. So we'll go Dragon Soul immediately, get that rolling. Also, he's using Triple Construct, which is nice, because we'll end up getting the extra points from him, which will go accumulate towards our gems. Since basically every kill we get at this point is 1 gem each, since you're at the end of the event. Go for the Dragon Soul there. Get yourself a Shadow Dragon. Get KrissTigger in there. I guess we'll do it on red. Oh, you know what? Let's do it green. Wait. Oh. Oh no. Wait, why wouldn't it let me click? Hello? Wait. What? What ability did I click on? Hello? Wait. What? Hello. That's new. Probably report this bug. A bug in which nothing happens. Okay, I need to watch back on the replay. What on earth just happened? I clicked on KrissTigger to like cast it, and then you got the choice to target it. No, I didn't. Wait. Okay. And then all that happened. Then I Dragon Souled. Then I was like, Shadow Dragon. And then it was like, yeah, let me go use KrissTigger. And then it didn't let me do it. Oh, I think I see what happened. The board was still cascading when I clicked to cast KrissTigger. Well, why on earth did they not have some kind of check for that? That happened to you on mobile. If you click early, like, yes, while the board is still moving. Yep, that's exactly what I just saw in the replay. That is correct. So that is what's doing it then. So if you click while the board is still... Oh, come on. They are adding new glitches to the game. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, well, we instant lose then. There's nothing we can do. The game's frozen because it doesn't know what to do. Let's see if there's a way around this. No, I don't think there's any way. We just have to retreat. Or you know what? There might be one way. Let's go and, not that. Where is the speed option? I'm gonna lower it real quick and then higher it. Oh no, I can't even click on a screen because normally that would revert the speed back. Can't even click on any of the cards. Okay, failed. That's not gonna work then. My plan did not work. Okay, we'll go flip it back and yeah, it's just frozen. There's nothing we're gonna be able to do to that. Rip. Rip. Oh well. Well then. Hopefully they'll fix that too. Has anyone actually reported that bug? Because that definitely needs to be reported if it hasn't already. Like, I know we're aware of it now, but that doesn't mean someone has reported it to them. Let's see. Oh no, it's Lowe's turn. Okay, we'll go for Dragon Soul then. You know what's kind of funny though? I've never had that happen to me in a new version when using the Bombot team. I haven't been running the Bombot team excessively, but still. Bombot team, you end up clicking like instantaneously. I'm surprised it hasn't happened to it yet. Because I'm always clicking before, like as soon as we possibly can when using that team. Oh, Strawn reported it a bunch of times. Well, hopefully it'll be fixed in that little mini patch that they're doing soon. Also, I don't even have the Gems of War forum open right now. Though then again, there isn't really any need to. The post on the new troop won't be up till tomorrow night. Well, let me just double check. Yeah, there's nothing there. Let's see the dev posts. And yeah, no dev has really said anything in recent time other than Salty. I'm just making a costume joke from Halloween. Oh, and there's something from Surian. What's this one? Sort chess content to show unascended troops. Neat idea. I'd find that useful too. Add it to the project backlog. Hey! Oh, we got another thing to get added. The problem is the backlog is backlogged with probably a billion ideas that they haven't implemented yet. Case in point, there is still the button on every profile. Oops, wrong one. There is still that button on every person's profile for adding them as a friend. It has been grayed out for 1.5 years. It was something they talked about for like 2 years ago. And they were like, yeah, we're going to do a friends list eventually. And 1.5 years later. It's been in the game for over a year, or 1.5 years so far. It's been in since around April of last year. It's been talked about since like January of that year. But they have never actually implemented it. And the icon just stands there haunting us. Yeah, they haven't bothered with the friends list yet. It is something on their project list. It's just they haven't gotten around to it. Watch. I'm willing to make a bet they're going to do some kind of visual change soon that's going to remove that button. That's going to be the first thing I mention to them if they remove that. I really do want a friends list in this game. Particularly one where we'd actually be able to fight our friends. Even if there's absolutely no reward whatsoever, that'd still be perfectly fine. Something that I've been wanting in this game for a very long time. I don't even care how balanced it is. It could be the most unbalanced mess ever. Just let us battle our friends in real time. Because obviously in the current meta, there is no point in doing that with like end game troops, because it's just going to be whoever gets the first infinite loop. But doing it in a fair playing fields, like with early game stuff, would actually be pretty interesting to see how that pans out. Like if I was to try to do it on my other account, it'd be pretty cool what kind of results we'd end up getting. Okay, well, we'll go move that over. We got our submerge. We'll move the... Actually, I should have taken the red into the purple instead of the blue into the purple. I don't need the blue immediately. Since I did take the blue, I'm going to have to take green now to just go all in on it. Now we'll just automatically have it up the following turn. Oh, he's running all construct too. That's nice of him. I think we're pretty close to having enough as well. Yeah, private message would be nice too, as well as messaging people like when they leave or when you have to kick them or something like that. It's been something we've been asking for, but they haven't actually implemented it yet. But because I believe they wanted to add it to the friends list, but since they never actually added the friends list, it never got added to the game. Alright, move that over. Yeah, private messaging would be really, really nice in this game, because there's literally no way to private message someone. You can message within your guild to the 30 or less people that are in it. You can message to people in a specific global chat. Like you can tell someone, hey, go meet me in channel like 072 or something like that. But there's no way to like directly message someone in this game privately. Go throw down on yellows. Don't have the Shadow Dragon, so we'll just go break Submerge. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go for the Shadow Dragon, because it will give us a Dragon Soul. It's exactly enough mana. And we can just go for that into the wave in this match. Hello again, Julian. Welcome. You just connected to the live. Do you have a good red team without mythic? Good red teams with no mythic. Do you have Crimson Bats? The first thing that comes to mind is Crimson Bat, Valkyrie, Crimson Bat, Void Portal. When I think of red team, no mythic. It's a fully true damage blue-based red team. Okay, so yeah, you can do that then. It's Crimson Bat, Valkyrie, Crimson Bat, Void Portal. It has your Impervious last slot. It has true damage to take them all out with. It has decent skull damage. Oh, there it is again. Our banners are showing 2 banners being active. I have no clue why. Let me screenshot that. There isn't actually 2 banners being active, but it's some kind of visual glitch. But yeah, it's only those 2. But it is showing that 2 are active. Let's see, what happens if we click this other one? Yeah, it still shows it. Interesting. What happens if we click back on the banner? I believe it gets fixed as soon as we click back on the banner. Yeah, it gets fixed after we click back on it. Okay, anyways, let me go rebuild this team into what I was just said. Crimson Bat. You wouldn't need a Alchemist in it, mainly because you would need the backline tank for Krakens. You also need a Summoner, which is generally why I go with the Void Portal there. But yeah, I guess you could go with Alchemist. It wouldn't hurt. I feel like it would be too much mana generation. You really only need the Valkyrie to make it work. And we can also, due to this, go for a Claw Banner, which we wouldn't be able to do if we were to go into Alchemist, because we wouldn't want -1 brown. But yeah, the +2 red, +1 yellow, -1 on brown since we don't use it, and just go from there. So this has a backline tank for when we deal with Krakens. This has a backline Impervious for when we deal with Queen Mab. It also has very low attack, so if we have to deal with Wisps, we don't need to deal with that as much. Biggest issue it normally has is getting Valkyrie up quick enough. Also can be somewhat annoying against Scion, which was for the longest time why I haven't been using it. I probably could bring this back. I generally run it with a Draculus as well, just so it covers green. It's not a necessity. That is a mythic after all, so obviously you can't go it. But it's helpful, but definitely not needed to make the team work. The team basically runs off of just doing really high Crimson Bat damage. Also, Crimson Bat works even better in Guild Wars due to the fact that you can just pump magic into it by getting a bunch of the magic stat from the guild statues. So that also comes in handy quite a bit, since that, relative to the amount of damage that you would do in PvP, is actually more damage in Guild Wars relative to the amount of HP armor that the enemy has. Because you can only gain an addition of 5 HP technically in Guild Wars, but you can also gain 5 magic. So the 5 magic is a lot more effective than that 5 HP, because that 5 HP will only basically help mitigate the first attack. So doing multiple attacks would end up doing more damage than a standard PvP battle like what we're doing now. And generally, I believe in Guild Wars, you can triple cast your enemy in most situations as far as killing them. It might take us quad cast in standard PvP, but we'll see. Right here, we'll probably want to get the second one all the way up before we bother casting the first one. If it was a little bit lower, I'd probably not bother. But since we do have it in the state where we could go for it, I think I am going to go all the way. So we'll go for yellow here. That will give us the last little bit of mana we need, and now we can just simply double cast it. And that should kill everything except the Queen Mab. And if this was Guild Wars, it likely would have just cleaned the entire team. Oh no, it actually didn't clean him either. But oh well, we could just take a few extra turns that are laying around, double cast that, and we'll be good to go. Also with this team, you always want to cast your first Crimson Bat first. Generally with every team you'd want to do from the front back, but you have to do this because he gains HP, and that helps him to be able to tank some. He doesn't have any traits that make him tankier, well, except maybe Undying. But aside from that, he doesn't really have any realistic traits that make him tankier, so him casting his ability for 16 life is generally how you keep him alive, and then you just do that. But yeah, you could run that for Red Guild War Day. It works out okay. It's what I used to use when Guild War first came out. I've kind of adapted into different stuff though, and the red team I use now is pretty strong with the mythics and stuff. But yeah, this is one of the more budget teams. You can also try running something similar with like a double Mirrorlift kind of thing. But yeah, this is pretty decent. If you have double Crimson Bat, it's enough to win most Guild War days. Kraken can still be a little annoying, but you have the Impervious. This thing is really cheap to trade. It's only an ultra rare. Do make sure that you get your Valkyrie mana before it dies, though, because this can only summon if you have 12 or more souls, and the only thing that gains souls on this team is Valkyrie. But as soon as you cast like one Valkyrie, I assume yours does at least 12 souls. Even if it only does 11, that combined with one kill will be enough. So ideally, you would want your Valkyrie to be at least 12 souls before doing this team. But assuming that you're actually trying to make solid colored teams in Guild Wars, you probably have that much magic on her. Also, it's pretty easy to get that last little bit if you don't already have it, since you can just buy the magic guild sentinels to close whatever gap you might have. If you have like a 8 Valkyrie, you can just get 4 to sentinels, and then you just got it all the way to 12 for Guild War purposes. But yeah, that's something along those lines is what you would run. You can replace out a Draculus, but of course if you don't have one, then you can't do that. But it works perfectly fine without one. The main reason you add Draculus is just so it adds a additional color of green, but it's not a necessity. It just makes it on it just makes bad boards slightly better when you don't have any options to really go for. Okay, well, we'll go through that then. Anyways, does anyone else have any other questions, things you want me to go over? Also, did I not do the dungeons yet? I was like talking earlier, it's like, yeah, I need to not forget them, and then we're like almost at the end of the stream, it's like, oh yeah, I still haven't done dungeons yet, have I? That or I did, and I'm being short-minded. I don't know, did we do dungeons? I'm pretty sure we haven't done dungeons already. I need to go do that if we haven't. Shouldn't take too long though, it'll be wiped in like 3 minutes with this count. Let's see, if you've got souls for the sentinels, why would you have not have souls for Valkyrie? Well, I mean, the thing I meant about that is you would need the base value of souls. Valkyrie needs to be able to do at least 12 souls per cast to be able to do that, which is what I was mainly referring to. If she's not able to do 12 souls per cast, then she's not worth using in that team, because you would have to double cast her in order to get the summon off the Void Portal. Okay, let's go do dungeons. Hey, we're almost level 1183. Actually, I say almost. They're actually quite a bit away in the whole scheme of things, because that's like, I think, an hour or two. It seems like that's close these days, but really that actually is quite a bit of time. Anyways, let's go do dungeons. The higher your level goes, the longer it takes to get levels. Yeah, I haven't done... What? I haven't done Guild Wars yet. Let's just throw dragons at it, I guess. We've been running this for quite a bit. I think out of every single new team I've been running, this has been the one I've been using the most. Mainly because I do tend to stick around with dragon teams. They're a lot of fun to use. They're one of the few things in this game that are still excessively fun to use. There's a few things as well, like some of the loop teams. But when the loop teams get used against you, that's never any fun. Especially when it goes infinitely. They will be addressing that in the future. They're just kind of looking how to really rebalance it. One of the things that they started with, of course, was removing the surge on 4 times to try to cut back on like wisps and other infinite loops, because those are the kind of teams that gain the best benefit from it. They tried cutting that down a little, and they'll probably keep tweaking some other stuff to find a nice balance without completely nerfing them to the ground. Kind of like what they did with Skull Spam. Skull Spam's almost useless right now. Though in all fairness, it was meta for like 2 years, so I guess that's fine if it's finally not meta for several months. It just feels weird because I'm so used to Skull Spam always being good, and then at this current state of the game, it's like, oh yeah, Skull Spam doesn't exist. It still can be used. There are a couple teams that still win with it, but relative to what can actually win consistently, it's not really worth using. Let's see. We have nothing we could take here. Well, obviously we have moves, but I mean, like, nothing useful that we can take. Okay, I'll just take the Dbarrel. Not really a color we should be aiming for first on this team. It's one of the last colors we should be going for. Actually, generally on the team that we're using right now, we don't even ever need to take brown. We can kind of just leave them there. It just happens to be a color we're covering. It's not really a color that we need to make anything function on the team. So we're going to go get a Dragon Soul down right there. Come on, cast. Get that down. Get a Christine X going. Just let him get Skull distracted. I gotta make sure he doesn't take too much damage, though. We'll get rid of red there just so we can get some of that Cascade. I want to get rid of all these purples, too. Which is what I was hoping to do with Shadow Dragon, but we don't have any alignment for it. Might still do it regardless, though. Just so we can get the mana we need. Doesn't give us an extra turn, but it gives us our mana. And we dodge it with the Submerge. Oh, no, no, no. Wait. He just targeted the one with Immune to Devour. Why? But good job. Good job, AI. Very smart AI. The only one on the entire team with Devour, and it's like, yeah, I'm going for that one. That's my target. Seems about right. Okay, final battle against the invincible Stonehammer. At least against Skulls. They really do need to get some more diversity into the dungeons too. They did say that they're going to be tweaking in the future. Same as Arena and Treasure Hunt, they said that they're going to be modifying. This game mode definitely needs some love. They added it way too weak for endgame players. For early game, it's actually quite balanced, I do have to say. But for later in the game, it is just an absolute wrecking ball to the AI. It's almost impossible to lose, just because of how different these stats are compared to endgame. So it's a lot easier to crush them. But even on our Let's Play account, I don't normally lose more than like 2 or 3 times a week when doing all the dungeon battles. Okay, and down it goes. And there's all of our resources. Get the extra little bit just so we have it. We're gonna have so many runics from these because I keep doing it every single day. What's even our horde of them? I think I'm almost approaching 1,000 on my runics. Yes, I am. Well, some of them are already over 1,000. Yellow is. Purple's getting there. Green's getting there. And yeah, they're all getting there. And oh no, we still have some trait stones that are under 100. Brown, blue went there recently. And what else is under? Oh no, I might need to go do some more battles in Broken Spire. It's my only arcane below 100. And yeah, that's the only one we really have that's kind of low. Everything else is kind of enough to... I could probably not farm another trait stone for the next 6 months and still have enough on reserve to fully trait every single troop that comes out. So we're pretty much good to go for a very long time. Not to mention we just passively get them over time as well. Speaking of that, let me go use some gold. I need to go see if we can get more crabs. We are very close to getting it to Mythic, and once we get it to Mythic, we'll be ready to go on Monday to get the final, to get the Kingdom's HP. Let's see how many more we need. What are we up to? We are at 3 more copies. We are so close. Unfortunately, I don't really have much more to throw at it. We're gonna have like 0 gold when we hit Monday. I'm gonna need to make sure I farm a little bit more next week to cover the gold. At least the minimum for my own guilds. Okay, now we have like no gold at all. 290! That's all the gold we have to our name now. That looks so weird when you have a 3-digit number there. Wonder what happens when you have like a 0 there, what that would look like. Well, other than just a 0. Actually, we can see that now. Looks something like that. Which is a 0. It feels so weird having a low number there. Same as here. Normally I have like over 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 keys. We're down to we're down to 4 digits. All we have left is 4,000 glory keys, some event keys that are all going on Monday, and guild chests, which these actually are going to be saved for a while. I'm going to have so many of them. Wow, how many guild chests do I have? We have to divide that by 20 and then add 190. So 48,547 divided by 20 plus 190. We have 2,617 of these things. That means if we were to use all of these as gem keys, because half of them basically count as gem keys, we have 1,308 gem keys just sitting here, doing nothing. That's a lot of gem keys. That is more than double how many I ended up opening earlier during the key opening. And that's technically 4 times as many keys. I mean, 2 times as many keys. No, 4 times. 4 times as many keys as we had earlier. It doesn't seem like that, because I'm not used to this resource actually being converted. But yeah, we have so many seals. By the time they actually ended up switching this drop table, we'll have probably over 60,000 by then. We have too many. But I have no need to use them at the moment. Try our team, a Herdmaster, Stargazer, Astral. Sure, we can go do that. Standard all Centaur. Well, let's go put that into a team. See what we can do. I haven't tried this since, there was something that was changed on this team that I haven't bothered using since then, I don't think. Oh, no, I have. I think it was the Artima change when she ended up getting a small buff. But I believe I did end up trying it once or twice when she did get it. But yeah, this team is okay. It's not really something I would bother really using as a core team. Of course, if it's ever a event week for this kingdom and it's gaining like 10%, 20% bonus, it's definitely nice to run. I just don't really feel like it's needed on a given normal week. Let's see. It seems fast and very nice board control team. It's definitely fast. As far as... Oh, no, I didn't mean to take that out. As far as board control, it only... Well, actually, it does have a few things for that. But let's go get our banner. Get that in. Get my herdmaster back in. I think the biggest issue it normally would have is against a Kraken loop. Because it doesn't have any direct counter to deal with most of that. Okay, move everything into position. And let's get into the battle then. But we're not up against a Kraken loop now, so we'll see what it does against this. What are they changing on guild chests? Guild chests are eventually going to be changed to have the current guild war troops in it. So you know the 6 that you can currently get, like the penguin and that orc guy and those other 4, like that one that looks like an eyeball, I know those kind of ones. Those are eventually going to be within the guild chest drop pool. So I originally started saving these because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to need to save these in order to make sure I will have enough to actually mythic all of the guild war troops. But they've taken so long to add more guild war troops because they still haven't yet. They said like every few months they would possibly add more, and they haven't after like 5 months almost. So I was like, hey, are you ever going to add any? But it's one of the reasons why I've been saving them for so long, because they like announced it and then they never got around to doing anything with it. So I was like, okay, so what's the deal? So I'm still saving them. They even said recently, like, yeah, they are planning on doing something with it. They just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, they'll basically be adding every single troop that you would normally gain from participating in guild wars. You'd be able to get them from the guild chest eventually. So that's why I've been saving them, just to make sure I can easily mythic every single one of those. Okay, speaking of that, this battle's actually going really bad right now. Not because this team is bad, but just because, yeah, it's just not working out right now. Let's see. Let's get a Stargazer. I need to start getting up to this one shot. Oh gosh, I should double check to see that he had death right there. That's enough damage to take that out. Get the Skull Poke. He's just gonna famine us though. And I don't think we're gonna be able to get enough mana quick enough. We'll still be able to get one last little poke if he doesn't hit us. Nope, he's gonna hit us. But yeah, let's go try that again. I'd like to see how it does against Kraken. I don't believe I've ever used it against the Kraken meta. We'll give it a shot. Let's see. I normally only cast Astral if I know I'm going to get good value out of it. I almost always go for Stargazer first immediately to get the attack buff onto the first slot. And then I generally go for the Stargazer, unless there's a really, really obvious Stargazer cast on the very starting board. I don't generally bother going for it. So right here, I would go for whatever we would actually need to deny from the enemy team. But there's almost nothing to actually deny from them right now. So there's almost no need to go for the Stargazer. There's also no immediate like extra turn that we can go and try cascading anywheres. Which would also be the other thing we'd aim for. There's a lot of green laying around. I almost want to remove it just so he doesn't get to use it. It's not going to give us much value beyond just getting the greens off the board. I guess we'll go for it. So we do get some cascade there. There's no extra turn, nothing like that. He's going to get a bunch of green-blue on the board, so we already removed some of that. So we can just go for whatever mana we want. Get our extra turn there. Get our nice little poke right here. And I want to try finding a good explode if we can actually land one. Where we can actually get additional mana from the actual cascade from the row explode. I don't believe we have any alignment though. We have to find a 3 gap between a couple of double gems. Like if there was a red right there or something like that, or a purple right there. But unfortunately none of that seems to be around right now, at least not that I can see. So we're just gonna probably go right down the middle. Maybe try putting up a skull distractor, or at least take away a bunch of the blues. Oh, and of course the skull ends up falling right there, so he ends up getting the kill. Well, there's no way we could have seen that due to it being above the actual board, so we'll just go for another Stargazer there. Get ready to remove everything that it keeps creating, just so we don't have to deal with all these colors. Herdmaster I'm going to do first, just so we can get the cleanse and get all of our mana that we need. And then we can start killing him out. Really need to take him out with an Astral right now, so he actually goes down. It won't be enough damage, but at least we can weaken him by a very decent amount. So we'll go for that. Get some Cascade just to remove that off the board. And I think we can herd kill him. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 damage. Never mind. That would not be enough, but I do want to go for it just because it gets our mana back, and we do indeed get the extra turn right there. So we'll just move that down. We'll have the skull option. That is not enough damage, though. It'll be too short. And we will die as a result. And there isn't a Stargazer that we can take to take the mana. It would actually give him an extra turn if we go for it, so definitely don't want to do that. Doing a Herdmaster will make it so he can't take a skull next turn, though. And perfect, we do gain the extra turn, which will be enough to kill it with a skull right now. Can we Stargazer skull it? No, we cannot. So we're just going to go for standard skull. I'll take him out. And then we just go for the buff. Not on him, though. Onto our next troop. Unless we can actually aim for that extra turn. I don't think we can land that, though. We could try the yellow, that's not going to work. Red also would have a slight chance, but I don't believe it's going to land. Oh, wait, yes it would. Yes it would. No. Boom, boom, boom. Because that blue right there would fall. Yes it would. Okay, never mind. Oh! I clicked Stargazer, though. No, wait, can I actually use attack buff on the enemy team? Why on earth is this game so broken right now? Good job, Divs. Can you seriously target literally everything on the enemy team? Also, why did I test that on the first slot? I tested it on, like, the most dangerous thing I could have aimed at. It's like, yeah, let's go give him attack buff. I wasn't supposed to know that that would work. How was I supposed to know that would work? That's not supposed to work, obviously. Okay, well, we're dead. For the obvious reason. Let's see. We'll move the red down. Take ourselves a blue. Astral Spirit. And yeah, there's no way we're going to win that. Might as well just retreat. Oh, gosh. And that's not the retreat button anymore. It's over there. All the way to the other side. Oh, we could maybe do something fun with buffing up the enemy team then. Could you imagine using a Stargazer Wisp team? Like, buff up the enemy's attack, and then just use a Wisp to backfire against them. That would, I don't think that would actually work, but that would be kind of funny. How far are we on the event? We should almost be there. Up against it 4 times as well. Event. Yeah, we only have 22 more. I'm not going to bother doing all the last ones here, but it's good to get those final 4 in, so let's go take it out with dragons real quick. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to be heading out for the night. It's starting to get a little bit late, and we will be back tomorrow, though, of course, with going over the new event. Or at least during tomorrow night's stream, we'll be going over the new event for Monday, which is going to be Merlantis, the first Merlantis event, of course, since it just kind of came out. We'll be having the Kingdom, and we'll be able to use all of our event keys to get the new Kingdom troops, including the Leviathan, if you want to go get it. Leviathan in its current state is kind of average, though. It's not really something that's super over the top, though it is worth having at least one, because there is a chance when Submerge gets reworked in the future, if it does get reworked, that it will be really decent. Other than that, we will be having our Stardew Valley stream tomorrow at our normal time, at starting around noon Eastern Standard Time, which is approximately 15 hours from now. We'll be rolling with that. We're still running the same account that we have been, which is running the game without using any shops as a additional challenge aspect to the game. So we're still running with that, messing around. And yeah, hopefully next week's event in Gems of War will be good. We already saw basically what the troop will do. It seems kind of average. Also, the mechanic, last I checked, is a little bit glitched, but I believe we might be getting a patch next week that not only is going to be fixing many of these really weird glitches that are currently in the game that came from the most recent patch, but it's also likely going to be bringing visual changes that are going to be basically what the community has been asking for specific things around the game based on everything that they end up doing in the most recent patch. So definitely looking forward to what they're actually going to be changing with that. The main thing I'm going to be looking forward to is them changing the board. It is really hard to currently look at this current board that they end up changing to. It's going to be nice once they change it to something that's actually easier on the eyes to look at. So we'll see what comes out of that. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for coming down tonight. See you all, I guess, tomorrow night or during the day if you're coming for the other stream. And yeah, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Best of luck with key openings if you're going to be opening up any keys now, or if you're saving your event keys, of course, for Monday for the new event. Anyways, have a good time. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you all later. Good night, everyone.